Hello and welcome to this video and to our first family holiday. Today we're off to the Lake District. The four of us are going, so me, Pete, Eloise and Jeff. We're going for a long weekend. So it's currently Friday. It's actually way later because it's 1:30 and I would have wanted to have left by now, but for a number of reasons we've not. And we spent the morning packing. We've probably gone OTT, but there's a lot to bring for the four of us, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, and we're trying to fit it all in the car at the moment. Well, Pete is at the moment. We couldn't leave. I thought we'd be leaving at like 11, but Pete smashed the wing mirror yesterday, so we had to wait for the new part of that to arrive before we could go, so that he could fit it in and blah 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 blah. So that's been sorted. Also, I've been saying for most of the week, should we do some packing? Do you think we should get some stuff together so that we didn't leave it to now? But we didn't do it, and we've had to do it all this morning, and it's taken a long time in between trying to sort this one out. So yeah, hopefully we'll be on the way soon. She's just had her feed, so she'll be ready for a sleep. Jeff's been out in the garden, so he should be okay. It's just a case of getting the car packed up and then we should be on our way. Right, we're on our way. As you can see, Jeff is enjoying his nose out the window. We have a full car, 2 children.
It's the first of the,
Yeah.
the first of 4 of us in the car.
Yep. Let's hope that it's smooth.
I can actually see out the back as well. I thought I was going to completely. I can see mostly out the back.
We're gonna stop about halfway at Clifton Country Park, so that we can give Eloise some food, get around the car seat for a bit, give Jeff a walk, etc, etc, and then we will carry on from there. So that's the plan. I hope you can see the dog in that. It's a dirty window, but it is a new mirror, so he enjoys this over the summer. So we made it to the country park. First ice cream of the holiday. Yep. Little one's not in her best mood. Other little one is in his best mood. Right, take 2. Country park. Happy a child. That was the mission. Well done, Daddy.
Yeah, it'll take longer than it should have. But, yeah. A bit awkward changing and feeding in a car, which is already full.
Something we're going to get used to this weekend. Yeah, now we are on a walk for that little dude over there.
And stretch out.
And all that. So yeah, do it. Good morning. So we made it to our hotel room. It was a bit of a faff yesterday, so we ended up making a longer stop than we anticipated at the country park, just because she needed feeding and changing and Jeff needed walking, and all of that just took way longer than we anticipated, which I think is going to be the theme of this holiday. So by the time we got back in the car, it was like, well, we should probably get some dinner before we come back here, which is the pizzas that you saw in the clips before. That's a place called Base Pizza, which was good. I had a moo and blue pizza, which was interesting, but very tasty. And in general, it wasn't too expensive, so it was a good first night. Jeff had a big barking match with a spaniel that came to the table next to us. Eloise was very well behaved, but Pete did have to do some like contortionist changing because there wasn't an actual baby changing station in the restaurant. Did you end up doing it on a window ledge?
Yeah,
so we did it on a window ledge. By some miracle we actually made it to breakfast on time, but now obviously she's having a nap and we're just getting the bag together before we head out. I think we're going to go and do a cruise on Lake Windermere for 45 minutes or whatever it is, and then we'll reassess. I imagine we probably won't be doing much more than that today before we come back here. Probably give her another nap because who knows what's happening with that. They do have a pool here, so when it gets to the hottest part of the day, our plan is to come back here and go to the pool anyway, just because I think it would be easier if we don't have to then contend with the weather as well as the baby and the dog. And we do want to use the pool, as you know, because we bought swim stuff for her. We are in a standard double room in this hotel, which is the Damson Dene. We got a good deal. We're just about making it work with the dog and the baby and us, and all the stuff that we need for the dog, the baby and us. We brought Jeff's crate just in case, because we didn't know whether there would be a dog bed. There isn't, but that's been helpful because it's now gone into Eloise's changing station. Obviously we've got her bed here, and ours is there. Excuse the mess. Over there is the dog feeding, baby feeding station, and then our stuff just sort of Jeff and then our stuff sort of just gets placed in different parts of the room. First night was a little hit and miss. She took a very long time to get to sleep, and I think this bed is just vastly bigger than anything she's ever slept in. So when she like stirred in between her sleep cycles and like flung her arms out, she couldn't touch the sides like she normally does, and I think that freaked her out. So the first half I got up so many times to put that dummy back in her mouth to soothe her, but then she woke up at like 3ish, 4 for a feed, and after that she was much better. She woke up at about 6, but she managed to sort herself out. And then Pete's alarm went off at 8, the dog started whining, the baby started crying, and I was like, oh, looks like it's time to go. That, I think, is you all caught up. Anything to add?
Yeah, hard work, that's just it. Hopefully get it into a bit more holiday, but we'll see.
I said to Pete that I needed to temper my expectations for this holiday, because normally we'd be going out now and then we probably wouldn't come back until after dinner, but I don't think that's going to be the case in this holiday. So I've only put down 3 or 4 things that I'd like to do. Some of those I'm not even that precious about doing, and I think Pete needs to temper his expectations in that it's going to be relaxing because it's a holiday. I don't think it's going to be. Do you, Jeff? Also bringing my own pillow. Best thing I did. Here we find the decoration. We've been here for well over 12 hours, and that's the first time I've seen the lake. lake.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Mr. Westland.
Hello and welcome to Sunday and to a new video if it is one, or to the continuation if it's that, because I have no idea what I'm doing with these. Welcome to Weather Chat with Faye and Jeff, who is not eating his breakfast. So I'm trying to force feed a dog now as well as a baby. But I packed as if the weather was going to be like 19-20 degrees, which is at the top end of jeans and a t-shirt for me. So that's what I've packed. Not for the 23 plus that it actually is. So the only dress I have is this one. So we're wearing it again today because it's too hot otherwise. I'm probably going to get massive chub rub. And yeah, could be kind of uncomfortable, but there we go. Pete is downstairs with Eloise because we had a bit of a stressful breakfast because she needed a nap but wouldn't go to sleep. So eventually we got her to sleep in the pram. So they're downstairs waiting for us. I'm up here just getting the last bits for our bag and trying to force feed a dog who happens to be eating now, so win. And then today we're off to Hilltop House, which is Beatrix Potter's home. I read Peter Rabbit to Eloise this morning, so she knows what we're doing. And yeah, we had a better night, which was good. She slept really well, we've slept well. We just did have a slightly tricky morning, but I think that's just the timing of when our breakfast was and when Eloise's nap. I think if we weren't trying to do both, it would have been easier. Don't know why the dog wasn't eating. He was obviously in one of those moods. And yeah, all good so far. Last night we went for dinner in a place called Francine's in Windermere. It was really, really nice. And we did end up having 3 courses because we thought we'd chance our arm, because Eloise again was asleep throughout the whole of dinner and stayed asleep through the whole of dinner, which was really, really good. And Jeff was nice and quiet. So we had a goat's cheese mushroom starter. I've moved over so that I can put some pictures here for you. So a goat's cheese mushroom starter, which I know is a lot of people's nightmare food, but we really enjoyed it. We then both had some lamb, which was really good, fell off the bone. Very tasty and cheaper than the pork, because I did consider that. And then I had a sticky toffee pudding. Pete had a sacca torta, which I'm not sure I'm pronouncing correctly, but one of those. Yeah, really good. We had a little walk. I then took Jeff for a little walk along the grounds when we got back, just because he needed it, kind of basically that. And yeah, all in all, yesterday it was a very good day, but with Jeff really enjoying the boat. Eloise did to a certain extent, but Jeff seemed to love the boat. We then took Eloise swimming for the first time, or to a pool. I mean, she didn't exactly swim. And then had a really nice dinner, so fingers crossed, today is much the same. She hopefully is having a good nap now, and then we can go to Beatrix Potter's house. One thing is, it's a National Trust place, which probably means it's going to cost us a fair amount of money because we're not members, but I really want to see it. And Jeff isn't allowed in the house, but I've been told it's small, so I'm gonna go in because I want to, and Pete will stay out with Jeff. I don't know whether I'm taking Eloise with me or whether she's staying with Pete as well. But he's allowed in the grounds, but he's not allowed in the house. So we've got to just contend with that a little bit, but we'll manage it, we always do. And Pete isn't as interested in the house as I am, so that works out well. So that's the plan. We'll probably end up doing what we did yesterday, in that we go out this morning, or just, yeah, about the same time, 10:30, 11ish. Do our sort of one activity and then come back here so that she can have a nap, we can have a swim, all of that kind of stuff, as it worked quite well yesterday. So yeah, let's go and do the day. Right, I'm really backlit, but we have to change the plan. Hilltop House is full at the moment, so we're now at Wray Castle. Eloise has had a bit of an alfresco dinner. She's currently having an alfresco change. And then we can take them into the castle, have a look around that after drinks, and yeah, then maybe go up to Hilltop House. Books, not a book. Books. Selection's pretty poor though, it has to be said. What a shame. Maybe my visitor feedback could be better books, please.
Well, donated, so it's up to the people to donate their books.
Well, they haven't donated very good ones. Right, change plan again. So obviously we had a look around the castle at the photo exhibition and stuff. They were actually very nice and let us backstage, so to speak, to let us get out, so we didn't have to try and carry the pram back down the stairs, because carrying it up the stairs she slipped down. Yeah, so we went through the servants' quarter, which is quite fitting, I think, for us. So instead of going to Hilltop House, because just time's getting away, and to be honest, we'd quite like a swim, and she needs a nap and all of that kind of stuff before dinner, which we booked at 5:30 today. We thought we'd just go for a walk down to the lake, because then that's Jeff ticked off. Look at him go, look at him go. And then we'll head back. But yeah, I don't mind the castle. As a, you know, aside. It was a good one. Don't eat the grass, Jeff. And yeah, let's go down to the lake. It's a good test for our pram, this as well. Change your plan again.
It wasn't a change of plan in my eyes.
It was in mine. I didn't think we were doing this, but we are now at Hilltop House.
Well, we'll see if we can get in, I guess, if there's tickets. But...
if there's tickets. So there might be another change of plan, but we're here. So me and Eloise had a look around the house. Pete and Jeff went round the gardens.
Yeah, the gardens you had to pay £5 for, and they were literally 5 metres by 5 metres, and none of the plants were actually growing.
There was a big field. There were some flowers.
Big field, nice to walk around with. It was literally just a patch of grass with a couple of benches.
It's part of the garden, and the flowers were part of the garden. That house is interesting. Like I enjoy the Peter Rabbit stories and stuff, and you can definitely see some of the influence, and good for the sort of time period. So she bought that house in like 1903 or something like that. Five, I should know, I've just been in it. It was originally built in 1602, but obviously it's had lots of different amendments and additions and all of that kind of stuff. But similarly, I'm not sure £15 is worth it. It is very small, and there's not a lot to it. It was interesting, there's not a lot to it. Glad I've done it, because I would have always been intrigued. Wouldn't do it again. But Eloise had a good time looking around. She woke up and was looking at all the different paintings and things. I read her the little snippets of stories that we had there. So yeah, we're now going to head home, back to the hotel, and then see what we've got time for. Just finished our dinner at the Boardwalk Bar and Grill. That one was a little tricky because Eloise was crying, and because Eloise was crying, Jeff was whining. You can really see my grey hairs. But more to the point, I ordered a drink, a mocktail, that ended up having alcohol in it because they've named it the same thing.
She called it exactly the same thing. Boardwalk Breeze or whatever.
And our server seemed, you know, both confused but also apologetic. The guy, the barman, was like, yeah, you asked for this, it's got alcohol in it. I was like, well, actually, I ordered the mocktail.
Basically, if you just didn't want alcohol because you had a headache, but if you were pregnant or teetotal or anything like that, they're getting the suit the fuck out.
Or you're driving, or there's so many reasons
literally.
Why you might not want alcohol, and then for them to name a cocktail and a mocktail.
Exactly the same thing.
They may be exactly the same other than the alcohol, but you still don't name it the same thing. It's the same way, the same reason you get virgin this and virgin that. Because it's alcohol free. So it's called a Boardwalk Breeze. They could have just called it, I don't know.
I mean, you did ask me halfway through, is this got alcohol? And I was like, nah, it doesn't. And
then it came on the bill.
It came on the bill and it was like, oh. It's hard to tell with cocktails.
So, I mean, it was a nice drink, I just didn't want the alcohol. Luckily for them, I didn't really care. But I could have done. If I was breastfeeding, for example, I could have not wanted alcohol for that reason. So yeah, I don't normally film on my phone straight after a meal, but we've been thinking about that. So.
Food was great though, and the staff was very nice. To be fair, food and staff was very nice.
Yeah.
Just one mistake, but people make mistakes. Just one of those things that could really screw them up later.
So yeah, if you do end up going and you want a mocktail, make it very clear that you want the mocktail rather than the cocktail. We are now going to head back. I should have gone to the toilet. I didn't. I now need a wee. Yeah. Back we go. She's now taking Eloise back to the room. Give her some food, try and get her to sleep. Me and Jeff are going for a little walk around the hotel grounds to try and get him to do his business before we head up, which is it's nice, it's sunny, it's warm still. See, the UK can sometimes be really, really nice, but most of the time it's dreary and wet. So I figured I would show you a bit of the hotel while I'm walking the dog, even though the old people are looking at me weirdly because they want to know why I'm holding up a camera and talking to myself. But there we go. So one of the things when I was looking at this that I thought about that we could do, particularly like tomorrow morning just before we leave, was the website for this hotel said that there was a model village on site and that dogs were allowed, and I thought, oh cool, we can make Jeff like a giant in it. This is said model village, and I don't think that's worth it, particularly as I think it's like a £5 for me and Pete to go in. So we're not going to do that because we can basically see it all from here. And as fun as it would be to have Jeff as giant Jeff, yeah, not worth it. So instead, I think we're just going to pack up and go and find somewhere to stop along the way like we did last time. Geese. Miss the geese. This is where we've been staying. So the top lot of windows is the restaurant and the bar. The bottom lot is the gym, and then just past that is the swimming pool. Nice lake with lots of ducklings on it. Strange lady statue. There's some pods over there that have like hot tubs and stuff. I did look at staying in one of them, but they were all sold out for the dates that we were coming because we got a deal. But yeah, it's nice enough. It's done the trick, and we've had a nice stay. So there you have it. That was our trip to the Lake District. It is now Wednesday. We came home on Monday, so we have had a day in between. So apologies that I look like a shell of a human, but I'm shattered today and I don't really know why. We had a bit of an eventful journey home. So about 15 minutes into the journey, Eloise pooed, so we had to stop at a service station to change her. All fine. We were then left that, driving along, heard like a metal clunking under the car, which was a bit worrying, but the car seemed fine, so we carried on for a bit. And then we started hearing like a flapping noise, so we had to stop at the side of the motorway. Pete had a look, and a big like part of the car, like the bottom of the car that probably is there to protect the other stuff, like a plastic mudguardy kind of thing but massive, was flapping about underneath. So we had to try and sort that out. Thankfully there was a quick fit relatively close to where we were, so we drove pretty slowly because I was worried about it sparking or doing something that would make life more dangerous, but we made it to the quick fit and they were able to fix it for free, which was nice. So we did get home. It was just a little bit eventful, and that detour probably took us about an hour longer than we would have been, but all in all good. We're all home, we're all safe, and we had a lovely time. In terms of a haul, we only bought one thing on holiday. We don't tend to buy a lot, but obviously if you saw last year's Christmas video, you'll know that we're trying to get a Christmas ornament from places that we visit, and obviously this is Eloise's first holiday, so it's important to me that we got one. So we just got this little Peter Rabbit hanging ornament for our tree for Christmas. It's not particularly Christmassy, but it's cool to show this holiday. And yeah, overall, lovely time away. Was a baptism of fire taking both the dog and the baby, but we managed it and we did well. A few touchy moments here and there where she wouldn't sleep or a nap went a bit awry or whatever, but you roll with it and you move with it and all good. So looking forward to planning and having another holiday soon. So if you've enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in what we get up to, I don't know what's coming up, my brain's not working, but subscribe for that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.